Welcome back to Apollo Justice. We're now on part 61, and for the rest of this excursion through the Mason system, it's going to be all in the past. No, the present day, sorry.
What time? Yeah, I'm gonna quote Link Howard. What time is it?
It's present day at the Drew
Time and
Studio.
space are bendable too.
Well, what do we have here?
Oh my.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
we should get to hear Eccentric 2007.
Yeah, I like
Sure,
this
why
one.
not?
Remember me?
Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar, end quote.
Yep, we met that day.
Just like he got barred. Ho 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 ho.
Being barred would imply I became a lawyer again, and we all know that's never gonna happen. Anyway, Mr. Mission was poisoned, and his daughter's...
Also poisoned, I know. Oh yes, I know. Oh wow, I know. Yes, I read the script. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest.
Good to know that you have some emotions at least.
I can't believe in
Yeah.
my own playthrough I've been reduced to playing the bumbling sidekick of somebody.
Who, Apollo?
Journalist wishes he just cracked the cat down case just a little quicker, end quote.
Aww.
Dwibs, the only that would be fine if he was funnier. That's the problem. Like, he's not a very good bumbling sidekick. That's the problem.
Who, Apollo?
No, him, Brushel.
Brushel's not really a sidekick, he's just a character in this regard.
No, I mean, he was the sidekick of Zak.
In some ways. For his role, Brushel does his role fine, you know. He's not in it too much. He just has a stake in this to some
What a
regard.
character! What a man!
I'm curious enough to understand what his endgame really is, I guess.
A lot. No, extremely rough around the edges.
Essentially, Brushel wants to know the truth
Just like
as...
this game.
I guess in Java he wants the biggest scoop of his life since he's a journalist.
That's his cover. What he really wants is to understand the truth, since let's just
Oh,
say...
you serious? I mean,
Okay.
I'm used to the interviewer, not the interviewee. Looks like he's grasping his nipples. Journalists ask questions, not the other way around, end quote.
Brushel is your classic Ace Attorney character, you know, funny on the outside, but has some depth on the inside.
Complex.
Yeah, his
Fine, shoot, I don't care.
his bit
My
is that
guess
he
is
does
too.
feel slightly guilty for what happened in this regards, and he wants the full truth and to expose it, you know, reporter style.
But what Valent said previously, put something. Like, he was the one who covered the accident with Thalassa.
To be fair to you, when it comes to Valen has some skeletons in the closet he wants to hide, so of
True,
course he
true,
would hate
yeah,
a reporter.
Family of forgers.
Yeah, I'll say later.
It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter, and now it's up to me
Forgery
to
is a
solve
serious
things.
crime. Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. They lost their attorney's badge. Oh wait,
Jesus.
you know what really did them in though, don't you?
7 years ago. That thing's finally caught on. A forged diary page.
Signed by
The
Ellen.
night I interviewed him.
In this game, 7. In this game, it's unlucky number 7.
I found out something about Mr. Mission I hadn't known.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
I'm glad someone is.
What's that?
You know, he always felt like he was being watched.
You're being watched. The government is a secret system.
Big
a
Brother
machine.
is watching.
Designed to spy on you at every minute of every... What was it? Every hour, sorry.
Every day.
day for 7 years. Walls have ears, potatoes
Actually,
have...
Dwibs, now that I think about it, it kind of looks like a cartoony version of Finch. Now that I think about it, I mean, just you give him more hair, take away the rosy cheeks, and he's pretty much Finch.
Oh my god, he is. Even has a similar motivation to Finch too.
He just needs to lip. He just needs a lip pizzle. No, I'm not talking about feelings here.
I know because I built it.
You know, I felt watched too.
You sniffed a scoop there.
The whole time I've been on this case, no less.
Interesting.
Fuck you, Warner Brothers, for canceling Person of Interest.
Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of net, freaks out, end quote.
Ugh, I hate that feeling. Because you felt guilty?
Why would I feel guilty?
Cyclock? Ah,
No?
you
Nope.
felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. It's,
It means he's being watched.
it's not always that
By the way,
easy,
Chelsea-
and also
by the way,
Chelsea is going against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Nice news flash there.
Drew Misham felt like he was being watched. Maybe he was tied into the game with the Chelsea versus Liverpool. And he helped them forge something that helped them win. I don't know. Seems like referees are reading off of forged documents.
Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane.
Never is.
Never.
I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago.
Yeah, I can see why. That was probably good for your health.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I felt it too. Journalists sure he is being watched, end quote.
Uh-oh. This puts
Yeah,
me in suspense.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Don't you wonder why Zak Gramarye got rubbed out after 7 years?
That actually
Yeah.
is a good point.
Right after coming into contact with me?
That's another good point.
He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then for 7 years talks to no one, not a soul.
A life of isolation.
Then, just as the remaining time was almost up,
Mm-hmm.
he contacts me in order to have this made.
Legal stuff and all that.
I guess.
And then he dies.
Of course you.
I thought you'd be happy considering how much you hate him.
Trying to put the pieces together, are we?
I've got to a point over where I've even stopped caring even about that.
Now you know how I feel in certain cases. And you were being watched this whole time.
Maybe not just me, maybe you were too.
Well, of course I knew I was being watched. That's why I've been having to tell Paul cryptic stuff.
Let me guess, the next phrase is Elvis is not a game.
Thankfully not.
Please buy a new toothbrush.
I met Zach
Please.
for that case, actually.
You mean the shooting of Magnifi Gramarye, God rest his... Actually, no. I don't think he's
Yeah,
going up where he's going.
He's an all souls. So.
Yeah, just let him burn.
No, before that. It's not widely known.
You mean the accident
Oh, there we go.
during the quick draw shoot 'em practice?
Bye, you're well informed.
I get around a lot.
You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop.
How much more hair did you have back then?
Probably
Not
not
much.
much. Yeah.
I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy. All for me.
Oh.
Aww.
I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now.
You.
So you must have smelled like rose bushes back then. Valiant Gramarye did mention one particularly nosy reporter.
For some reason he's using the modern portrait.
In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifi Gramarye at the time.
Interesting.
I knew his daughter too, of course. Thalassa, was it?
Yeah. Thalassa Falasa. Really?
Then Thalassa disappeared. Quite suddenly at that.
Wonder if I could ever find her.
And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me.
Oh, trust me, compared to some of these magicians, you're a saint.
Journalist catches scent of a scoop. Goes on beating frenzy. End quote.
Oh boy. Hollywood's greatest... Well, sometimes Hollywood's greatest fear, sometimes its greatest
I
exploit.
set up a one-on-one interview with Thalassa's husband, see?
Zak Gramarye. Now it's all starting to fall into place.
How an asshole like him got someone like her, I don't know. Something strange was in the air over a true Gramarye in those days. The whole screwy mentor controlling disciples scene had started by then, I'm guessing.
Oh god, they must have given the Jackson 5 a run for their money.
Yeah.
Thalassa, she was part of it all, right?
Considering
Right.
she wore one of the outfits, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Come on, you can tell me. Off the record, just ignore that I'm writing something on my arm.
You're always writing
Drawing a
something on
picture
your
of a
arm.
bunny.
Sorry, but I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, haven't heard this for a while.
I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach.
Interesting.
First reaction was, oh my god, I have a friend. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times.
You're persistent, aren't you?
But over time, he came to see me as his confidant, and then he punched me 10 times.
What, he's a
I'm gonna
ransom
bu-
thief?
I'm gonna bother you until you become my friend.
Actually, it sounds like the other way around.
It's like that gaggling card in History of Power Rangers where he said, if you don't join the Power Rangers, Alpha will kick your asses till you do.
Waiting?
Or his big comeback, of course.
Big comeback.
A big revival of the Magnifique Miracle. Of course, it was all a dream.
The
It's like
miracle
hype.
indeed never
It's like
happened.
hype for a lot of TV shows nowadays.
Because of this magenta envelope, the performance rights.
Isn't it more straight purple with magenta?
In the absence of any official documents, he was golden.
Depends on the shade, take your pick.
I suppose.
Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zack and Valant?
Well, that sounds like a legal nightmare just waiting to happen. Something that could give the Superman comic book a run for its money. Anyone who's a comic book fan should know, and heck, even if you aren't a comic book fan, you probably have heard that infamous tale.
The time finally comes, and Valant's like a kid on Christmas morning.
Long story short, the moral is, you may not know what you have until it becomes uberly famous. He's
Yep.
getting ready for a show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you
That sounds
know.
that sounds more like a line Zach Brushel would say.
Mm-hmm.
They must have messed up somewhere. If that document sees the legal light of day, it's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show.
That would suck for him.
He's a sorry one, that Zak Gramarye.
He seems like a good guy, but he's flawed in some ways.
Seriously, did you see that mustache of his? It's awful.
Oh, I like the mustache.
Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too.
Love.
Or something you haven't told us.
It's the same old story, really.
What, is he the bad guy from the Dover Boys cartoon?
An attorney badge. I'll
Dude,
steal it!
and they're
No
right for
one
its
will
only guy.
ever know!
What has 3 sides and all of them pointy? A love triangle!
Oh,
Oh
God.
no.
No, please.
We
No.
just got over the
We
one
don't
in
need
Cora.
this.
Please.
Huh, that is pretty classic. A bit worn out.
No,
though.
no, Phoenix.
Phoenix,
no,
don't
this is
indulge
not-
in this, so come
When
on.
you're in the performing true, that's your world.
Phoenix was sort of... Okay, he technically wasn't in a love triangle, but something similar to such.
It's like family. Wow, with an entire high school's worth of
The
drama,
love
intrigue, and
triangle Phoenix was
backstabbing.
in was a little more complicated than
So
this.
what you're telling
True,
me, Brushel,
yeah.
is that
One actually loved
You
him.
never should trust anyone because everyone is an asshole that will only be interested in backstabbing you.
so what
Unless
you're
it's
telling us,
Iris.
So what you're telling us, Brushel, is that the entire story is basically a high school special.
Oh, God.
He,
Well,
he literally said high school drama, Jova. It's a high school special.
I don't know if that would be an improvement or not from this, but essentially what
Most
happened
likely
was that Fallon also pined for Thalassa. How ironic that she ends up getting shot in a stage performance, which involves the man who loved her and the other man who loved her but wasn't her husband. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person?
Do I know that person? Of course.
Very good.
I was friends with Zach after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually.
At least you're consistent with that.
But still, I'd never forget his wife.
The yin to his despicable yang. Zak Gramarye.
Which indeed really begs the question, what did she find in him?
We're gonna get some insight to that later. Zak Gramarye's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her?
Well, why the heck not?
I need all the information I can get. A woman's life could depend on it.
Well, let's talk about it then. So, Talassa married Zak and had Trucy, see?
Uh-huh.
It was her second marriage, actually.
Second marriage, huh? Interesting.
Yes,
mean-
very interesting.
She was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before.
It's simple, Phoenix. It actually happens more
Not quite.
often than you
Her
think.
late husband was a performer, too.
Ooh, late husband.
Widow.
Yep.
Which I'm not quite sure how something handles that.
Oh god.
He died in an accident on stage.
Of course.
Technically, very
Does
technically.
everyone in this universe have a nice, normal family?
No, Shir, we
Well-
cannot.
Well, Phoenix apparently does.
Well,
Even our Phoenix parents, now that I think about it.
They're dead, probably.
It's kind of hinted that his mother may be a certain character from Ghost Trick, which may or may not be a prequel to Ace Attorney in general because of
Yeah.
references it makes.
But she was a beauty. I
Let-
still carry a portrait photo of her around. You
Let's
know.
just say this right now, Tio.
That's kind of creepy, dude.
If Phoenix's mother is who we think it is from Ghost Trick, let's just say it's...
All the phone,
Yeah,
the bracelets,
yes,
they're the same of Apollo Apollos.
Interesting, isn't that?
yeah, just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
She got a better deal, really.
sorry, Jova, continue, my bad.
Basically, Tio, let's just say if the mother Phoenix is who we think it is, let's just say Phoenix may have gotten his luck through a certain bout of a family heirloom of sorts.
Alright.
And let's just say it's obvious where he gets his bumbling nature from, his mom.
Yeah, just reminiscing, you know. Talassa has another child besides Trucy, end quote.
Wow,
Can you
this puts
I
me into
wonder
immense
who
suspense.
that child may be.
What? Another child? Dear God, that's gonna add more to my child coverage bill. Wait. Trucy said she was an only child.
Well, she was
Yeah.
married twice, and they referred to Trucy as the daughter.
Oh boy.
Her,
Child,
Yes, the one
daughter.
she had with her previous husband.
the one who died in a stage accident. What the heck happened? Also, dying in a stage accident. Isn't that kind of what she did too after she got shot? Whoever's family that is, well, Trucy's. God, if Talassa and her family have some bad luck. Her first husband
Yeah.
who died on stage?
Yep, they had themselves a kid.
Who I guess Zak didn't see fit to take in.
Another orphan now.
Now, it's never said that Zak actually kicked whoever this child was out, but god dang, where was the room for him?
That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now.
You may never know.
I wonder.
Talassa
Yeah.
had another child.
Yeah, I'm already connecting the dots.
Do you think I could borrow that photo?
And by the way,
No.
this is not. It's not a quest. It's not a quest. A request.
Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know.
Honestly, you've
Oh
been one
my
of the better
kind.
characters compared to a lot of other jerks in this.
Yeah, that's also another thing. The thing that I wanted to point out before. Everyone in this case in particular, I know it's a common thing for Ace Attorney in general, but in this case in particular, everyone has an agenda. Everyone, including Phoenix himself. That's okay, but at some point it makes things a bit confusing because these things are piling up one after one on top of another. It's like an orgy.
It really feels a little complicated. Like, yeah, Ace Attorney is no stranger to all these government-level conspiracies or someone's got these ties and agendas with the government. The thing is, like, well, with an Ace Attorney case, normally you had one or so. Now, granted, another example where there were multiple agendas going on, the finale case of Bridge to Turnabout. Yes, again. Notice how Paul Justice seems to be going for a lot of the things from what a lot of people considered, in fact, some people even still consider the best Ace Attorney game, Ace Attorney Free, just without a lot of the magic that helped it. Part of the reason that Bridge Turnabout worked was because that was a case that literally had every single previous case helping build up towards it. And I mean like every single previous case and every single previous game up at the time. I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. After all, it's up to someone else. Apparently, that's not my role anymore.
Yes.
God dang it, writers!
Yes, it's now up to someone else, and his name is
John Cena.
James Justice. I don't know.
Huh?
I was just wondering what McAfee would think of all this.
You know, it's a good thing that the game doesn't really care, because for as much as an evil jerk McAfee is, he doesn't really factor that much in. Well, okay, he factors into this quite a bit, but it's not like, you know, Manfred von Karma levels of factoring like you would think he would.
She's got his power.
Oh. You mean the power to notice visual tics in people? You mean how I can't lie to Trucy?
Sure.
It was the same with McAfee.
Of course.
Stop hitting yourself with the toothbrush. And with his daughter.
He's just imagining the missing hair that he used to comb it with.
What little hair he has.
He's imagining the missing hair. It's a strange thing. You think it's some Gramarye gene?
McAfee told me once, back when Zak married Talasa, he said, "Get out of here or I'll call the police."
So,
But he also said that Zak had good eyes.
so does this mean that the Gramaryes are a family of mutants?
Maybe.
But not good like a Gramarye's eyes. Not that good.
Mutants come, they will need to join Magneto's brotherhood.
Magneto's not too far from McAfee. I wonder if Zak ever played a game of poker with his wife.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
God.
weird.
Who knows what the Gramarye secret was?
Maybe nobody, now that Zak's gone.
Or maybe I do. Or maybe Trucy does. I wonder if she's told Apollo about her ability. Zak Gramarye. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself.
About time.
Layer, text upon text. A
Like,
button pressed by A button
60 rolls,
pressed.
60 parts in, finally.
It sprouted from a warp in the Gramarye fabric and grew,
We've been
swallowing
Mr.
everything.
Mr. Wright is the iPhone version, so I'm tapping a screen.
Tap by tap, wrapping itself around the Gramarye's power.
It.
And I'm about to get down to the bottom of it. A
I don't know,
power
Theo,
that's passed from McAfee Gramarye to Talasa to the next generation, the Millennials. Which aren't a bad thing, you internet hacks! And I would once again need to meet.
This isn't Star Trek.
I don't know.
The one who bridged it all together. Your subtle hint.
Bridge to
Who we will be
Turnabout Day.
meeting in a minute, actually.
That's your hint to go back to that place you thought you were done with.
Yes,
Well,
Pedro?
that's True Studio done.
Well, hold on.
To the Bosch Bowl.
Alright, Pedro, it's you and me.
All right, let's go.
Anyway, that Magatama time.
That is a nice thing how they now...
in 3D.
It is a nice touch how they included the
Gramarye secret.
Magatama
Yeah,
on the
Instead-
talk option.
Instead of having to present it, yeah, I agree.
Alright, I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. Because I know that in the future, I'm going to talk to a reporter about this ability after you are dead. It's like, reminder, this happens before Phoenix has that talk with the reporter, so we're still time traveling here. And
Can someone please explain to me how the hell Phoenix has become a time travel?
Oh, no, Pedro, I got an explanation.
Go ahead.
Shut up.
Screw you, that's the explanation.
Yeah.
Now, they try to explain it in that the Mason system is a combination of holograms, this virtual investigation and whatnot, but really, let's just chalk it up to time travel. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's gonna hurt our brains way less than the intricacies of the
It's just in,
Mason
like, a
system.
simulator or something. I don't understand.
It's abundantly clear that the writers just throw their hands up in the air. Fuck it, nobody's gonna care at this point. Everybody will already be tired and will just accept this.
It really does feel like that.
I'm guessing they want to also play on the meta. I'm gonna say, oh, you just want to play the game, won't you? Time is
mean-
not really a concern of you in that case.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. The idea of the Mason system investigation is pretty fun, and I will admit, I do enjoy the bout of, having to go to different points in time to get evidence or whatnot. I just wish the game would be outright and just say, yeah, it's time travel. I mean, come on. That wouldn't even be the most ridiculous thing in Ace Attorney at this point.
And yet, somehow, the time chronology still makes more sense than an all-star Batman or Robin.
True that. And that's not even time travel.
Go figure.
Yes, only Frank Miller can manage to make time more confusing than a time travel story, somehow.
So Talasa's officially missing, huh? I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. Take that! The three of you were a team once. You were Sonic heroes, but now you've fallen from grace.
They're wearing the colors.
Not that the entire country doesn't already know this.
Oh my god, we actually wear the color. Jesus Christ.
At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. You toppled even the likes of Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers, Justin Bieber, thank you for that last one.
Hey.
No, I mean, trust me, I'm so glad that Bieber got deported. And that actually happened in real life.
No, we know.
Talasa lost her life during a rehearsal. And to you and Valiant, Gramarye's bullets.
Dun dun dun. It was an accident. It wasn't me.
That's what they all say. You were my client.
How could I shoot my dear Thalassa?
I think I have a good idea of why.
Yeah.
The audience has been waiting to know just that, and I'm sure Valiant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention.
Damn you. Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes.
Aww.
Think they could read my mind was frightening.
Well, that's one way to keep a mirror solid.
Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace.
What, is she Storm?
More
Sure.
like Mr. Freeze's Nora Freeze.
She is dead, and Magnifique Gramarye has joined her.
So the only one with her power left
It's Trucy.
is Trucy.
Yeah.
So
Very
Trucy
good,
holds more than just the possibility of
Then you'll
maintaining the
accuse-
family
no,
rights.
There's another one.
Trucy is the chosen one.
Mr. Zak. Trucy does look a bit facially like Janora now that I think about it.
She does, actually. I do not know.
I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. I'm the awesome normal guy who uses gadgets. And basic logic.
I don't need any power to see through that. Never mind the fact that I'm using a magical thingy that my best friend gave me.
It's sad that this will
that's
never get
pretty much-
topped by the
that-
fact that the
that's pretty-
investigation games literally make basic logic a super lawyer power.
Oh, that face. Haha. How would I know?
You were saying, Kia?
Phoenix, that phrase is pretty much like John Constantine. He keeps bragging, but he doesn't have any powers when he constantly uses magical artifacts. So
Yeah, those are... Good point.
But how would you explain that to someone?
not-
I'm using a magic necklace that is
For as many problems-
into your heart.
For as many problems as that movie has, I actually kind of enjoyed the
actually, I
Constantine
refer
movie.
to the character itself. I haven't
Wow,
seen that
true.
movie yet.
Well, true,
Well,
yeah, but it just reminded me.
Anyway, it would take a miracle to learn the truth. Thankfully, I'm just the person to bring that miracle.
Well, Mike,
movie
me,
you're- What movie are you referencing, Pedro?
Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, okay.
Take that!
This
Oh.
boy.
I knew this
Hey,
profile
hey,
picture
audience.
would come in handy.
Hey guys,
You
Apollo
ca-
is important now.
His name is.
His name is I forget something weird.
That is so.
Okay,
after everything-
okay. To be fair, guys, this is before Phoenix officially meets Apollo. Remember, this is before the first case of this game.
In
know.
other words, fuck time travel. Like,
Yeah.
Time travel is
No, but
bullshit.
I agree that I agree that that is correct, but at the same time, after
You know,
everything,
guys, when I
this is just insult to injury for
Can I
Apollo.
mention something, guys?
Well, to be
Yes.
fair, Shroy, would it
No,
make
uh,
sense?
go ahead,
Go
Dibs.
When I picked to do this game, I completely forgot about the time travel aspect. So in a way, this is the closest I'm going to be getting to doing something like Sonic 06.
Well,
Or any other game that has a bad time travel plot.
it really is weird because it shouldn't be time travel, but it really is time travel when you get down to it.
Even if it technically isn't, Jova, for all intents and purposes, it is.
Yeah, it's like I said. Again, it started with when we brought evidence from the future, well, the present, into the past, and now here we are also bringing information we don't know, but also have to remember that Phoenix doesn't know Apollo that well here and there. Or maybe Phoenix is literally saying that he doesn't remember Apollo, because if he did know Apollo's name, then that would break the time stream continuum, and that would probably break down this simulation or whatever they call the Mason system to be.
Dwibs, I'm curious, since you're the expert. How far up in the bad Doctor Who meter is this time travel?
I'd say it's about. I won't say it's like Stephen Moffat.
No, but Moffat's specialty is retconning badly stuff that happened before. This is just doing something weird.
Yeah.
I say, Dwibs, the thing when you showed the guys, the other guys, I forgot what it's called.
The Father's
Twin
Day
The
episode?
Twin Dilemma, yeah.
Wasn't Twin Dilemma
Oh,
even worse than Moffat, though?
Twin Dilemma is just an absolute piss poor story, and it was even worse by the fact that it was meant to be introducing a brand new doctor to the audience, and what was introduced to us was a loud, brash, annoying prick who
I rest my
choked
case.
his companion. Yes, I know he was under regeneration
Gee.
isms at the time, but whatever.
Anyway, your marriage to Talassa was her second, which means you were second pickings, mister.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not surprised by this, so yeah. How did you know this?
I traveled in
audi-
time.
Hey, audience, are you connecting the dots yet? Are you?
Her first husband. He died a year after they wed, yes. So I'm so looking forward to the retcons. Technically not retcons. He technically did die in stage during performance.
Yamasaki.
Honestly, Dwibs.
Okay. To be fair,
Honestly,
I think
Dwibs,
he's
no love.
joking.
Honestly, Dwibs, no love lost on when it comes to this game, if you ask me.
To be fair. When I say retcon, it's more so they changed the context to it. He did still technically die in a stage performance, technically. It's just a bit different from what you would expect.
No
that's
idea
all.
what you're talking about.
And I'm not going to elaborate because I don't want to spoil.
Don't
Moving
worry,
back to
Tara,
this.
you'll get it. You'll get it in time. And you say she had a child, then, like I said, Jova, if you ask me, no love lost when it comes to this game.
Okay. So technically Zach didn't know she had a child then. Yeah, okay. I guess that's one mark off of Hi-Am Daisy's comic of Zak Gramarye as a jerk. It's still funny, though. And I could imagine him doing it.
Oh,
I couldn't help
Phoenix had
noticing
this
when she
my
was
same
wearing
intuition.
when
She
I
looks
first
like-
saw this.
She looks like a 1940s human rotoscope animated character.
Well, I'm
Kinda.
sure she may have been alive during the... Well, no. No, that would be a bit too old.
They are a Gramarye family heirloom. Get it? Hmm? Are you
This
connecting the dots
boy.
already?
Well,
Hmm,
they're
I
pretty much
wonder.
they're pretty much stating it already.
Yeah, the problem, honestly, to me, Joe, is that we have spent the entire game right now basically shitting on Apollo, and now suddenly he's super duper important.
And if I remember correctly, in the case where he first meets Trucy and his power is first revealed, she's kind of just like, oh yeah, that's a thing, you know, after the court case. And she's like, you'll
Oh
get
my
used to
God.
it and things. It's like, they literally told you.
Go ahead, this.
But yes.
You know, maybe some Stephen Moffat, well, post 2012 Stephen Moffat Doctor Who era comparisons are kind of valid, because you know there's trying to
Oh,
There's connecting the dots, even though the
Wait, only
connections
one?
don't make much sense.
here's
Well,
the
yeah,
thing.
Apollo has the other.
So here's the thing. Talassa went traveling off someplace. We don't know the name of said place, but basically when she came back, she only had one bracelet.
She gave it to this boy. Her
I have a
son.
name, you know.
So Talassa...
Dun, dun.
But why would she leave her son in a foreign land, wherever that is?
Two Cyclops in one go. So,
Also, Paul, I can't say your name because I would break the time stream
So,
continually.
technically speaking...
like you haven't broken
like-
it already.
I'm told Apollo and Trucy are step-brother and step-sister.
No, they're half-brother and half-sister.
Sorry, I forgot the correct term.
And it
My bad.
doesn't help that some people ship them up to this point.
Yeah, I was about to mention
And
this.
that's why I
That's
reacted
gonna
to
be a
Pedro's
yikes for
joke a
me.
few parts ago the way I did.
I mean, it's in the...
That's like that's the revelation, kind of like in Return of a Jedi, when you know about Luke and Layla being parents. I mean, you remember what happens at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back.
The kiss.
Yeah.
Oh!
Jova, you've mentioned before that people ship Pearl and Phoenix, which is super gross.
Well, you know,
Jesus fuck.
it gets even better when you really get down... Well, quote-unquote, better when you even get down to it.
Well, sure, it depends. I mean, by the time Spirit of Justice comes around, she's already of legal age. So technically there's nothing wrong in Spirit of Justice to do that, I guess.
I've heard
Ship
people-
Apollo and
well,
Trucy? Yeah, there's
this was
nothing wrong
before-
whatsoever.
No.
No,
Phoenix
Pearl
and
and
Pearl.
Phoenix.
Phoenix
Oh.
and Pearl.
Well, Jova
Even
mentioned
then-
this
even
before
then,
Spirit of Justice
remind
was
me
a
again,
thing, I
Jova.
believe.
Remind me again, Jova, how old is she in Spirit of Justice?
I think she's
18, I think.
19.
19. Since she's legal by that point.
I'm pretty
so
sure
technically
she's...
it's
Oh, wait.
Well, I remember Jova mentioning this before Spirit of Justice was
Oh, was it?
a
Oh, wait.
thing.
Never mind, I'm misremembering. Pearl is 17 in Dual Destinies. Yeah, she's either 18 or 19 in Spirit of Justice. Either way, yeah, legal
Okay.
age by then.
Yeah.
mind, even with that, I don't think maybe Phoenix is like
A bit too old for Pearl.
Bit too
Yeah.
young. Phoenix is like,
Too much of an age gap.
To be fair, that gets awfully judgmental, and there are just some people who do love each other despite
So
the age
anyway,
gap.
yeah, basically we're being told the same, but the thing that we already know, the power of Thalassa was to respond through attention, moment, and understanding what specific thing was wrong.
Here's the thing, though. She needed a certain object for that power to work.
Catalyst.
Yeah. I admit, the first time I
Control
saw one of
magician.
those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion, because the legal world would eat you alive for that, or the fashion world. What kind of power could a bracelet have? You can tell that this is before Phoenix knew the ins and outs of the powers that he
Well,
hinted
it
at to
depends,
Apollo.
Phoenix. If it's enchanted +1, maybe it can bring some boosters on defense.
I don't really work with
Oh,
enchantments.
he's made a decision.
Pedro?
Pedro?
Sorry, I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift.
Hurrah!
Right,
I've gotten
Trucy
through.
and Apollo.
Also Phoenix, remember that you may technically be in a JRPG.
Alright, here we go, guys.
Yep. And he's gonna be in another one too when Capcom got done with
Jack?
that. I hardly need you to tell me that those two are...
Our brother and sister, yes.
You know, they seem to be getting close awfully in the present. I wonder if I should surprise them by jumping out of a wedding cake and telling them that they're siblings. That'll be the right time to tell them.
No, you don't let it get that far in the first.
And the brother too has this power.
So, Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Fan art, Phoenix. Lots of fan art of people who are into that. No, there are people who specifically do like sibling shipping. Doesn't help that
I
Fire
know.
Emblem encourages
No,
that kind of behavior.
Those
Oh,
people should be on a list.
Java, compared to Java, I don't. Well, you're a Sonic fan, you should know. But
Look,
even
look,
art,
look.
It's
Okay.
nothing to do.
Look, it's one thing when fans do it, but Fire Emblem's latest installment literally encourages that kind of crud.
Yes.
Java, it's a thing since the early games. It's actually a plot point in a lot of games.
Again,
Also, Shiroi,
companies
it's
are
much worse
encouraging
than-
that. They are part of the problem.
Sorry, yes,
Yes,
Pedro?
Pedro.
So, Shiroi, that's the thing, Shiroi. It's actually much worse than you think. There's an entire subgenre of hentai that's about siblings who love each other. Like, people get paid to make these.
Anyway.
Unfortunately, I am aware that it's practically a fucking genre in anime. And, ugh.
What I want
Yeah.
to know is how all of this got to be so messed up, and how I can keep Apollo from making any moves on his sister without having to tell him.
Nah, don't worry, Mr. I'm not really interested anyway.
Thank God.
I would like to make clear, however, that
No, hey,
This-
Mr. Right, though, that girl who used to be your assistant, though, maybe.
it is had to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth.
So they're temperature sensitive or something.
Moving on. I would like to.
Also, Apollo, no worries. I'm just waiting for my girlfriend who's still in prison.
I'm sorry. It's false.
Sure.
That line can be so easily taken out of context. It's just...
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so let's move on, please.
I can shrink to the exact size of the Haruna's wrist.
Shrinkage
I
will
want to-
occur. So this has something to do with the power. I got the power!
Got the power!
Power!
What have I told you?
Expand your
grammar-
dong?
That too, but the Gramarye power reacts to tension in others.
Oh, I'm
When
feeling
the
a lot of
Gramarye
tension
senses-
here. It's cold.
When the Gramarye senses tension, they too become tense.
Oh, so it's empathy.
Right. Let's call it
And
that.
this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscle.
Ah, I see. So where does the blood flow to?
The brain?
What do you
Yes,
what do I
the
look like, a
brain.
biologist? So minute, they cannot sense it on their own.
They need help.
Is there medication for that? Their muscles. Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. So it's not just magic, it's super science and human biology.
No, Job, it's spirit science. With bracelet on, one can sense these contradictions.
Contractions.
Contractions, sorry. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. Basically, Java, there's this sub-genre thing called spirit science where they believe that the moon is female.
Oh yeah.
It's bizarre and weird.
Because the old deity Selene.
Ah.
Yeah,
The bracelet feels tighter on their wrist.
precise.
So it sounds magical at first, but it's actually scientific. Why didn't they just say it's genetic from the get-go?
It's
It's
okay. Let's
fancier, Joe.
let's just come up with a couple.
That
It's
alone
ma-
doesn't really count as mind reading. You see, we're not gonna go that too far out,
Look,
readers.
Magic.
let's compromise. It's Magitech. There you go. I believe I understand how the process works for here. Do you?
Yeah, it's relatively simple.
It's a simple question of eyesight.
Yep.
10 out of 10.
Eyesight.
Well, yeah, when we previously used Apollo's power to track how people are lying, you have that giant image of an eye.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pretty good vision.
And remember, the Gramarye that died is called Magnify, like a magnifying lens.
Anyway, about eyesight.
Have you ever heard of kinetic vision?
I guess I have.
Do you need to use your whole body for it?
You see, the Kinect watches you 24
Oh.
hours per day.
Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right?
Oh, I guess it's not the Kinect.
So.
Well,
it's-
Pedro, that's what the Kinect was supposed to do, but utterly failed at
Joe,
doing.
I understand it now. This is the perfect country move to the old train thing.
But Pedro, the series wouldn't debut on Xbox for another 12 years.
Speaking of which, who else remembers the now infamous tech demo of the Xbox of the Kinect, which suggested that it had AI that could literally respond to you by talking
know-
to it?
You know, Jova, now that I think about it,
Oh, not confined to sports alone. Okay, so where are the referees? They clearly need that eyesight.
it all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things.
Again,
Time-
why are
time to look.
why are we not hiring referees with this ability?
You know, Jova, now that I think about it, considering they did it with the Wii ports, one thing, if they had decided to release the Ace Attorney trilogy on the Xbox One back in its early days, maybe they could have had a Kinect optional functionality where you have to literally do the objection gesture.
And,
Yeah,
and
we
yeah,
went to the
or
screen.
yeah,
Would
like-
not have surprised me.
That would have been fine as long as it was
Can you do-
optional. I wouldn't mind it.
Okay,
Did you do
it
that
would
in
have.
the Wii version.
Okay. It would have depended on two factors. One, if it was optional, and two, if it was when the Kinect was deciding to be good, like the Star Wars dancing game, or if the Kinect was deciding to be the Kinect like in Sonic Free Riders, which is god awful.
Well, move it. Well, the gesture of doing the objection is a very simple enough gesture. It's not like it's something complex.
And
That's
like-
the
and
thing,
again-
though, Pedro.
and
Despite
again,
there being a
the
lot of simple motions, the Kinect seemed to not even be able to do simple motions properly
it's
more
a
often than
case-to-case
not.
scenario.
Yeah.
Also, the Kinect technically has a voice command option.
It does.
But
Yeah.
Exactly.
but the problem is it has similar to the Kinect itself. It works only when it does. It works perfectly for some reason in Mass Effect 3, for some reason, but everything else is clunky.
So essentially, the Gramarys can see really well.
Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus.
So seeing really is believing.
That's nice, but by that logic, I should be a partner too of the tribe or something.
Well, depends, Tio. Does your bracelet also expand and shrink when you put it on?
I'm not wearing bracelet in a long time, Java. My heavy metal phase has been long gone.
Ah.
Edgy, by the way.
Yeah.
It may add spikes.
But what if someone could tell you when to focus?
Well, like a Falsey.
Is this Ace Attorney or the Matrix?
We're
Yeah.
enemies of
Well,
the
we
pool.
are in the Mason system after all. Or something.
Zak is dangerously close to being Morpheus.
I know, right?
Precisely.
What if I told you that you were in a time travel sequence? But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. Maybe I should give her one for her birthday.
We're talking.
Yeah, talk about. Yes.
Yeah, I got it, Pedro. For the rest of this part, just talk to Zak as if you were Morpheus.
Oh,
The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking.
perfect.
Machine!
There you go. Do that then.
I doubt Trucy herself has realized this.
Whoa.
It's kind of a cop.
Welcome to the desert of the real. That is all I know of things grammar.
Interesting.
I remember for 100 years!
Thank you, Mr. Zak. You're actually helpful now. It's a shame you may have to die later.
If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long!
Oh, so we're quoting Morpheus from the sequels now when he got overly hammy.
Might as well, why not?
To be fair, that was only in Reloaded.
And what happens in Reloaded stays in Reloaded. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, Revolutions hardly addresses anything Reloaded sets up.
Well, shall we play a game?
Shall we play a game? Ah, I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I have longed for this moment for so long. Is this really happening? I will tell you.
Bit confusing here how much of this actually did happen back then and how much is this of Phoenix actually knowing this because of time traveling or whatnot.
It was a dark, stormy night. Luke Triton was in a ship
Oh.
heading towards London. And then he
Dwibs,
met
I think you
a
may be
lady
up
who was
soon.
pregnant.
Wrong franchise.
Sorry, I
Well,
kinda
we're
escaped
technically
into a
in
better-
this. Well, we're technically in the same universe.
Sorry, I kind of
Somehow.
escaped to a better
So,
game.
Magnify's test. A test? Wait, just shooting
Yeah,
a
15 questions about magicians.
In his last years, Magnify Gramarye worked us the bone, no, to the pain.
Ooh.
Yeah, Gramarye.
But that night, I could not shoot him.
Even though you
Mason
probably
system.
really wanted to.
The Mason system is a
system
system.
is a dream.
No.
Oh wait,
listen.
this bit.
Okay, sorry.
So I shot the clown's forehead instead.
Oh, again with that.
Yep,
I
it
can-
was part of a test.
That's
I'm
right. I
still
didn't.
wondering what this all has to do with Crystal.
This
You'll
it seems
see.
was the correct answer.
Yep, that was the correct answer. Shooting the clown in the forehead. Dwibs.
Take this. I give my all to you, Zak.
Yep, it was a riddle.
The Mason system is a system, the Phoenix. That system is our enemy.
It is thanks for playing along with my show.
About to do one last disappearing act.
You shot well tonight, Zak.
You are a weird mamba jamba, you know that?
Though I would not have minded dying by your hand.
I'm sure you'd have loved that, but we can't do
That
that.
was the wrong answer, though.
Wait,
One of these days I have to record Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That game is so awesome.
Major?
Oh, sorry. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor.
Bah, I thought you might say that.
I knew you.
Yeah.
I read the script.
Even Magnify knows.
Oh, sorry.
If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then?
Told you I'd piss off and leave an old man to die in peace. Then, of course, I would have given Valant his chance.
Huh.
Wait, does this mean Valant is the real killer?
We don't know yet, Tio.
And if I had shot you in the forehead instead?
Then I'd be dead, you moron. Then it would be over.
So basically, the entire reason this is even happening is because this guy is a fucking moron.
No, he's just a
Would
dick.
to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go, and my outfit
Wait.
You know, fuck off. Bye.
fitting in, don't you think?
I guess. Yeah, Shuri?
No, I'm just trying to think of something.
Alright.
Yes, this ending too gives me cause for regret. Sorry, no cause for regret.
Jova,
Yeah?
remind me. In order to do this whole contract of passing your personal stuff to someone else,
I am
don't you-
sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day.
Of course he admits it as he's about to die.
if I remember correctly, Jova, legally you have to be of both sane mind and sane body to do some kind of stuff like that. And that guy clearly is not sane of mind.
Actually, technically no. If it's your property, you can do whatever that you dang well please, despite however you may be
What you
mentally.
mentioned, I think, applies only on written documents.
Yeah.
When, at
Well,
the
isn't-
moment,
Oh, isn't it? Wasn't that technically involved in this whole exchange thing?
Not so much. Let me put it like this. The rights were already written before he was on his deathbed. After that, since they were already constructed, all it needed was a signature and bam, it's his.
Well, was he sane of mind when he wrote those? I'm done.
Yes. The rights were his well before, you know. It was basically a matter of just probably adding an addendum to who he signs the rights off to. And even still, mentality doesn't always bear the mind because, let me put it like this, he wasn't senile, he was just dying. As in dying from a disease, so... Yeah, in fact, if anything, the time to write a
He was
will or
dying
sign
from-
over... In fact, you know, ironically, Pedro, the time when you are dying is when you're encouraged to sign this stuff a lot, go figure. Public opinion's a
dying from
fickle thing, you know?
He was dying from incuritis.
Yeah.
Thankfully not. Yeah.
You don't mean to tell me they've put the blame for our mentor's death on him?
Yeah, a lot of people suspect Valant, I'm afraid. But trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zak. It's
No,
technically
Phoenix.
not solved yet. There were even rumors that Valant had helped you pull it off. Poor Valant.
No, Phoenix. I'm telling you that when you're ready, you won't have to object anymore. But that's madness!
What a shock! Running off in the
Madness.
middle of a trial leaves a lot of people
San
confused.
Francisco. What?
Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, can you just disappear so I never have to look at your face again, please?
He's gonna die, Pedro. He'll disappear soon enough.
Thank you. I have one more act to perform.
Harsh.
And the-
which
Sure,
still
sure, it would be harsh if something was actually lost when he dies.
Well-
which it wasn't.
which has the one big mystery still remaining. Why the fuck is Christoph giving a shit about this?
Ooh.
Well, we'll find out We'll find out later on.
that night.
Because I'm evil.
Anyway. That
Don't-
night,
don't do
Zak Gramarye was killed, much to the distress of...
Everyone.
He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. Funnily enough, in his last moments, he did do something good for someone else. But he left one thing behind before he parted, ignoring the fact that he was doing this whole game to try and ruin me, but whatever, he had some redeeming qualities. This.
He did?
Unlike Magnify.
Yep.
7 years passed. I, Zak Gramarye, murdered my mentor, Magnify Gramarye. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure from court and hereby confess to my crime from Zak Gramarye.
Basically, he wrote something to actually look out for Valant. An actual decent act. Of course he killed no one, but he was willing to lie because he actually didn't mean to ruin Valant's life. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Zak Gramarye.
Wonder what Valen's real name was.
Valent Schmalent? No, that's too
If
easy.
we're going for the magician, illusionist kind of maybe Valenti. That's an actual Italian.
Most
Well, we
likely.
finally got the. Well, good news is we got the Borscht Bowl Club done, and we're only 2 segments away from finishing off this Mason system bullshit. So we'll get to it in the next part.
Oh yeah, I think they started explaining what exactly the Mason was by the time we finished up that investigation.
Yeah,
and
right
oh
at the very
boy.
freaking end.
And oh boy, you thought things were weird now, folks? Just keep on watching. It's about
Weren't
to
we in
get
the middle of a
weird.
trial, by the way?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. We're during the investigation phase, and Phoenix is doing his thing with the jury, who I think are watching all of this.
Alright, if I'm going to investigate this, I'm going to need to bust out the big guns.
Get my
The
time
time-
machine!
Right, get my time machine.
You know,
Why doesn't he ever? You know what? Never mind. The more of this game gets buried and dead, the better.
Yeah.
Moving on.
see you next
See ya.
time.
Yeah.